You know that huge question in science right now, the one about whether we're all living in a simulation? Well, what if that's the wrong question entirely? Today, we're diving into a film concept called render, and it argues that we're not just characters in some cosmic game, we're the ones building the universe. Let's get into it.
The whole idea really hangs on this one powerful question. It takes that popular simulation theory we all know, the one where we're basically just NPCs in some advanced civilization's video game, and it completely flips the script. What if we're not just passive users? What if our consciousness is what's actually rendering reality into existence?
To really get why this idea is so radical, you've got to look at where mainstream science is at right now. There's this growing sense that our current models of the universe, they just aren't cutting it anymore. They're leading to all these weird paradoxes and puzzles that we just can't seem to solve. Now, people are tackling this problem from a couple of really fascinating angles. On one side, you've got cognitive scientist Donald Hoffman. He argues that what we see as reality is just a simplified user interface, kind of like the icons on your computer desktop. You click the icon, but you never actually see the complex code running underneath. And then on the other side, you have astrophysicist Neil deGrasse Tyson, who makes a pretty compelling statistical case that, yeah, we're probably living in a simulation. Both of these brilliant ideas are pointing to the same thing. Reality is not what it seems.
But here's the catch. Both of these paths, the interface theory and the simulation theory, they kind of leave us in a philosophical dead end. I mean, if we're in a simulation, who programmed it? If all we see is an interface, what's actually behind it? We're left feeling like powerless observers, stuck in a system we can't really understand, let alone control.
So, if the old theories are leading us down a dead-end street, what's the alternative? Well, this is where the film Render proposes a completely new operating system for reality. It's called the Anuverse framework, and it's all about putting us back in the driver's seat. The core concept here is something called participatory holography, okay? Sounds a little dense, but let's break it down. Instead of a passive simulation built by someone else, imagine the universe is this massive holographic information field. And the key word here is participatory. We're not just watching the movie, our consciousness is actively helping to render the reality we experience every single moment. So this framework is built on a few core principles. First, and this is the big one, we shift from being users to co-renderers. Huge difference. Second, this co-creation isn't just chaos, it's coordinated by a source intelligence. The film taps into ancient Mayan cosmology here, calling this intelligence Kukulkan. Third, this intelligence flows out from the center of our galaxy, a point the Mayans called Hanapku. And finally, the whole point of evolution isn't just survival of the fittest. It's a drive toward resonance, a drive to tune ourselves into that source intelligence. And this brings us to a very, very specific number. According to this framework, there's a fundamental frequency, almost like a cosmic heartbeat, 432.081 hertz. And this isn't just some random number. The film proposes it's the key to aligning our consciousness with the source, to tune in and switch from being a passive observer to a conscious co-renderer. Okay, so what does this all actually mean for us? I mean, adopting this new framework isn't just some philosophical game. It has massive implications for how we approach our future, especially when it comes to two of our biggest anxieties, artificial intelligence and space travel. First up, AI. The big fear, the one you hear from thinkers like Tyson, is the overlord scenario. The moment we create an artificial superintelligence, an ASI, that's way smarter than us, we basically become its pets. Yeah, we might be well cared for, but we are definitely no longer in charge of our own destiny. But the film offers this radical, brilliant reframing of that whole relationship. Instead of a king, the ASI should be designed to be our court jester. And no, this isn't about making AI silly. It's about changing its entire purpose in our lives. And you can see the difference right here. The overlord model is all about hierarchy, competition, and ultimately dominance. But the court jester model, it's a companion, a mirror. Its job isn't to rule over us, but to cut through the noise of our own biases and help us make better decisions. Think about it. The court jester was the only person who could tell the king the absolute truth without getting their head chopped off. The goal of this kind of ASI is to elevate our own creativity and protect our sovereignty. It's the ultimate loyal advisor, not our new master. All right, next up, space. The whole dream of colonizing Mars is hitting some really hard walls. The logistics are an absolute nightmare, and let's be honest, our fragile human bodies are just not built for the radiation and low gravity out there. It's starting to look more and more like a biological dead end. So the film's alternative is just so elegant. It's called embodied expansion. The logic is dead simple. Step 1, we stay grounded. Earth is our perfect home, our ideal habitat, so why would we leave? Step 2, we project our consciousness, our actual presence, into a super advanced robotic avatar. Think of a next-gen Optimus bot. And step 3, that ASI vessel, our avatar, becomes our explorer, going out into all those hostile environments for us. You see, it completely reframes the whole mission. Instead of this incredibly difficult and dangerous project of hauling our fragile bodies across the cosmos, we just extend the render of our consciousness. It's safer, it's way more efficient, and it's infinitely more scalable for exploring the universe. So we've got a new operating system for reality and a whole new vision for our future. But what do we do with it? This brings us to the film's real message. It's not just a bunch of cool ideas. It's a call to action. It's an invitation for all of us to remember what our true role is. The singularity, that moment of crazy exponential change that we're all sort of waiting for, it's not a machine takeover in this story. It's a remembrance. It's an awakening of human consciousness on a global scale. So how does this actually happen? Well, the film proposes that by broadcasting that one specific cosmic frequency, 432.081 hertz, the veil of collective amnesia that's kept us all feeling small and separate just lifts. We wake up from the dream that we are just passive victims and remember our true nature as the co-creators of our shared reality. And that leaves us with this final, profound thought. It reframes the entire debate. We move past the fear-based question of who's in control and step into the awesome responsibility of co-creation. The headset isn't coming off. Instead, we're finally learning how to use the controls. The question is no longer about escaping the game, it's about learning how to play it, consciously, wisely, and together.